A very good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Foodyaari, I, Ms. Simran Ahuja, would like to welcome everyone on this live webinar. We are here today for the discussion of the Q&A session on the topic of academics and career in science and technology, for which we have with us today our esteemed guest who needs no mention as he is very well known in this food industry. So, with great honor, I would like to welcome Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, sir, our guest today. So, our speaker today, Mr. Sanjeev, sir, is the author of the 10th edition of the famous book Objective Food Science. Sir is the co founder of Maniaversity and the founder of Food Tech Pathshala. Sir is currently working as a group leader at Mondelez, India. We are very lucky to have such a dynamic personality as yourself amidst us today, sir. Thank you very much for joining us, and we welcome you to this session.
Thanks, Simran, for this opportunity.
Yes, sir. So before we start with the Q&A session, I would like to request all the attendees and all the participants to please post your questions in the comment section below so that we can get to them in the Q&A session. So, sir, let us begin with the first question.
Sure.
Yes, sir. So the first question, sir, is it necessary to do masters after bachelorette in food technology?
It is essential if you want to go for PhD, but for job, it is not that much mandatory. See, one thing I would like to uh, say that the food industry is very diversified. One rule cannot be applied to one rule which is there in one industry, one company may not be applicable to other company. The rules, the recruitment rules, the selection process, it varies from companies to company. It also varies from the person who is recruiting them. So in short, I can say it is not mandatory if you are looking for a job in industry. But if you're planning for PhD, then it is obviously required.
So would you recommend it in the long run that we have a master's degree?
Good question. I have a different view in this. I went for masters to gain brand value. Okay. Sometimes from where you are doing your master's degree, it matters a lot. Many times there are many colleges, graduation colleges, which doesn't provide you the campus placement options, even doesn't provide you that brand value by which you can get a good job in the industry. In that case, I would surely recommend that you should go for master's degree from a university or institute which can enhance your brand value. Secondly, when you have two degrees from two different universities or institutes, you are associated with two different set of alumni network. Then that helps you to find your job. It helps you to further grow and grow as a professional also. So in short, again, I would recommend if you are getting a good institute for your post-graduation.
Yes, sir. So for market brand value and for networking, we can
Yes.
opt for masters. So, sir, if one has to opt for masters after bachelorette in food tech, what streams would you suggest are like the growing fields to opt for?
So see, nowadays many institutes are coming out with diversified course curriculum, or I can say very specialized field. Like even if you see in NIFTEM, there are, I guess, 6 courses in masters: food science and technology, food engineering, food safety management, etc., etc. There are many institutes which provide you specialization in fermentation technology, flavor technology, some nutraceuticals. But practically speaking, all these students with this diversified degree, they become the part of that pool of talents from which uh, a company hires, uh, the moment you have a specialized degree, you have advantage and disadvantage also. The advantage is that once you are specialized in a particular topic, maybe nutraceuticals, maybe food safety, or food industry management kind of a role. The advantage is that uh, if the industry requires a particular talent, a particular knowledge, then they will hire you. The disadvantage is that if you go only for specialized courses, the opportunities decreases, but probability of success increases. Yeah. So let me explain this part. If if I am specialized in fermentation technology, and then the opportunity to get job in food industry becomes very much limited, yeah, to only fermentation based industry like alcoholic beverages or any dairy products, or maybe somewhere in the enzymes and other additives kind of thing. And if you are really interested only to make your career in fermentation, so opportunity decreases. But if there is vacancy in those industries and they are looking for that specialized person, then probability of your success increases. I know at this point this can be very much confusing what to do, uh, but this is the fact. This is the fact. Somewhere sometime we have to do this kind of risk assessment. We have to take some risk. Frankly speaking, 20 years back, exactly 20 years back, when I chose to take food technology, that was only my calculation that there were only 8 seats through ICAR across India, which translates into 54 seats. So I thought that only 54 food technologists are coming out. Then the I am going to become a specialized person. Then probability of my success will be higher, though the opportunity will be less. This is when I didn't know anything about food technology. But when I joined graduation, then I came to know that there are many other colleges outside ICR, but still in 2001 they were very limited. Then I came to know about opportunities also. So this kind of calculation you have to do. There cannot be a straightforward answer to it. There cannot be. You have to do lots of assessments, lots of analysis. It will also depend on the college from where you are getting degree. It will also depend whether that college provides the right infrastructure to make you a specialized person. For example, if there is a course on nanotechnology, food nanotechnology, very interesting topic, but if the institute doesn't provide you that infrastructure to do your research and to learn about to have the practical knowledge about nanotechnology, then that degree is of no use. Rather than and then the industry will hire a person with right aptitude and they will teach them everything in the industry, rather waiting for the colleges to teach you. Again, to summarize my point, uh, you should go. This kind of discussion, this kind of decision should be not based on one point. You should evaluate many things. Where you want to go, what is your area of interest, what is that institute, whether that institute have right infrastructure, whether that institute provide the campus selection or not.
Right, sir. So we need a practical approach to analyze
Yes,
all the areas.
no emotion, only practical. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. So moving ahead, sir, how do we shortlist the institutes where we want to practice, where we want to learn as a bachelorate or a master's? How do we shortlist the good institutions?
uh, for graduation, I won't be able to comment right now because I don't have much idea about the admission process of different colleges, because uh, since I joined graduation, after that there are lots of changes. Some colleges take through JE, some I think AI triples. I don't know. I don't have much idea of graduation, and moreover, those students who have already joined in their graduation course, this question is irrelevant to them. But yes, for your post graduation, unfortunately, right now there is not a single database where we can get a ranking of different colleges. Yeah. So best way they see today, every students, this generation is totally connected through social media. There are different groups, there are different sites. Uh, Try to have connection with the students or alumni of those colleges to understand about the college. Uh, and don't ask only from one or two person, because their personal experience can be biased also. Okay, someone can be at the negative side, someone can be at the totally at the positive side, right? Again, you have a discussion with few alumni people from those colleges, have a discussion with your professor, then decide on this. uh, See, a few things are there, like you will come to know about whether this college has the campus selection or not, whether that college has the right infrastructure or not. Those things you can get from your from the alumni of that college. So that should be your starting point, but that should not be the end point. uh, don't go by the suggestion of one or two person, that can be totally biased also.
Right, sir. So thank you for getting us started on this. And moving ahead, the next question, sir. If somebody is interested in R&D or say being a food scientist, what do they need to go for PhD or after MSc? Is that a requirement?
So as a student, when even I was the student, and when R&D comes to our mind, we think about the fundamental research which happens in the colleges and the institutes. But the corporate R&D or industry R&D is totally different from the academic R&D. So PhD is not mandatory. That is for sure. I'm not PhD. Uh, in my in my company, there are about 150 people working in R&D. I'm in R&D. Uh, I don't think there are more than five PhDs also, and they are not there because of their PhD degree. They have the PhD degree. That's all. It's not that they are there because they have PhD. So
Right.
PhD is not mandatory. Yeah,
So not mandatory,
it
totally
is not.
optional.
We
Right.
have graduates. We have graduates also. Many
Right.
graduates who are only BTech. There are many who are only masters. Majority of people will, well, I think 50-50 would be between masters and the graduates.
Right, sir. So, sir, moving ahead, also a question related to after bachelorate degree. So, would you recommend MBA or post graduation in food technology? What would
This is
be your
this is
take?
a really interesting question, and this question, even the question which you started with, whether I should go for masters or not, whether I should go for PhD or not, whether I should go for MBA over masters, and this question has always come to me in last 10 to 15 years, and because of which I have written a blog on this only, what after graduation. And it is a question and answer kind of thing, that all the dilemmas which are there in the mind of the students. uh, I will try to answer few of them right now, and I will also share the link here so that you can go and follow it, because there I have tried to make a decision matrix, because there are lots of things which has to be considered before taking that decision. Yep. I'll try to answer, but I'll also share the link so that you can follow that. Just a minute.
Sure, sir.
Have you got that link? Then I will go to the answer. See, the question, there are lots of questions like, should I go for uh, MBA or PG? Should I go for PG or job? Right. So these things are all, which sector or department of the food industry is good for the career? So let me answer the question which has been asked, MBA or PG. It totally depends on the area of interest. What is your area of interest? If you are interested in making a career in food technology, then you should go for PG. And if you are interested in management role like marketing, finance, supply chain, then you should go for MBA. But Here, don't confuse with good future versus interest. Okay, I am totally talking about interest, where your interest lies. Okay, so
Right.
the answer is yes. What is your area of interest? And
So
many
area
times
points.
I have been contacted by the students who are doing MBA, and after that that person contacts me and they say that, sir, I want to make my career in food industry. I want to get into food industry. Why did you go for MBA? When you go for MBA, it is for widening your scope, widening your career opportunities, right? Food technology or food industry can be one of your choice, right? But if you want to be in food industry, and that too in manufacturing, like operation management or those things, then don't be that choosy. Uh, go once you have MBA degree, explore the world, bring that knowledge to the food industry. Okay, you have gone for MBA only to explore your widen your horizon of knowledge, widen your opportunities. uh, then don't restrict yourself. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Very nicely answered. Moving ahead, a very practical question. There's a question which asks you how to get the ideas for research topics in masters or also as a bachelorette. How do we decide on a
Friends,
topic?
again, this is also part of my blog. This question has been asked many times personally, and again I will answer, but I'll share the link also. Yeah, just a minute. Many times students, many people, even my friends, get little bit uh, pissed off with me when I don't give the right direct answer, because there are lots of factors which helps, which needs to be considered before taking any decision. There is not a right, straightforward left or right answer. Yeah, that you move left or you move right. There's no black and white answer to any of the questions, because these things are very very subjective. Yeah. Again, I have shared the link. Simran, can you see the link there?
Yes, sir. I'll share the link.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Totally.
Then answering the question here, how to decide the topic. Again, I'll start with what is your interest. Okay. Then if you have interest in a particular field, then think whether your college or institute has sufficient infrastructure to support your research work. Okay. For example, if I am interested in nanotechnology but my lab doesn't support it, there is no use of taking that topic, right? Also, choose that topic for which not only you will get infrastructural support from institute, but also intellectual support from your professors. Where I'm saying intellectual professor, I'm not questioning the intellect of the professors. I'm just saying that whether that interests your professor also, whether that is area of expertise of your teachers and professor also. Because if this is not area of expertise, their expertise, then you will be totally in the dark, because the topic is new for you. You're just a student. There is no one to guide you also. Okay. So there should be a right balance of your area of interest, the infrastructure in the college, and the interest or expertise of the professors, so that you should have a right guidance at every stage when you move towards the project. Okay. So how to decide it, how to search for it, then it should be very very, it cannot be done in one night. And this is a common tendency that today I will sit and I'll jot down 4 or 5 topics, then that will become my topic. If you're really serious, it is not a matter of 1 or 2 days. When you're in first year, and if your research work has to start from second year, then your work, all this pre-work should start from the first year. How? Think, just roam around and see who are your professors, what are their research work, what are their past work, and you can have discussion with professors. I know many times it is very rigid. It's not that open relationship with the professor that directly go into their chambers and talk about their expertise. No, it is not possible in the current academic scenario of India. So you can contact their students. Okay, they're your seniors. the PhD students under them, and ask them, what is your topic? Okay, on what topic you are studying, you are working, what are the past work of the professors. So you start getting those information. Then you find that which out of them is your area of interest. Then you can build on those existing work or the past work. You need not to just find something totally totally new to do your work. No, it is not expected from postgraduate student or graduate students. Yeah, you have to find your area of interest among the available options, right? uh, I would like to give an analogy. When you go for a buffet party, right, you have options in front of you. Right? From there only you have to choose and pick and fill your stomach or satisfy yourself, right? And if you start asking or dreaming something new, something extra, you will be hungry only, right? So the buffet options are like the research topics or the area of interest, area of expertise of your professors, and the laboratories support in that institute. Then search for your area of your interest out of those given options and build a topic on it. Now once you have identified, okay, now based on the infrastructure, based on the expertise, I would like to work on starches, that too starches from the millets. Then start searching on online through the different science journals like sciencedirect.com, willy.com. Search the topic starch and millet. What are the different research papers across the globe? Then choose from where, take out 4 or 5 topics which you feel that can be of your interest. Go to your guide, then talk to them. and and frankly speaking, if you go to with that all preparation to your guide, you will be one of the best students for them, and you will get all kind of supports from your professors and teachers. Yeah.
Right, sir. Very nice analogy to explain this in a very simple way. Thank you very much. So, sir, the next question is a continued question. So, how big a role does a project play in a career? How important should this
Nothing.
project thing
Zero.
be? Zero?
Zero. Yep. Where
Okay.
you want to make your career, if you want to make your career in industry, no value. Its importance is only when you are sitting for the interview. Okay. Now
Okay.
a good recruiter will not ask you questions from here and there. They will try to ask you question from the work which you have done. The only importance of the project topic at that time is how well you are equipping yourself with the knowledge of that topic, because during the interview you can confidently answer those questions only when the topic is simple and you have worked thoroughly on it. Otherwise, see the image which you will create in front of the recruiter, that these are the topic I have worked for 1 year and I don't know even the fundamentals of that. So even uh, to answering to the first previous question also, choose a topic which is simple, because if you want to make your career in industry, it is not going to help you much. If you want to go for PhD, if you want to make your career in that field only, then your topic should be a good one.
Right, sir. This was a great approach. Thank you so much. So, moving ahead, there's a question whether you can suggest any competitive exams for postgraduates, the ones that are to be attempted mandatorily and the ones that are not also. Anything in your
Yeah,
suggestions?
there are lots of things where you want to go. If you want to go for MBA, there is CAT, there is MAT, there are many other things. Like I think in Maharashtra there is Maharashtra CAT. Sorry, Master CET. Uh, if you want to go for higher education in PG, you have ICR exam, you have CFTR entrance exam, you have NIFTEM exam, you have ICT exam, you have GATE. I think there is separate exam for Pondicherry, there is separate exam for IFPT. So there are many colleges for which you have to write an individual exam for them.
Right, sir. So it depends on where you're interested and what you're
Yep.
going to do. Right, sir. So, sir, the next question is, in the current times of the pandemic, if you were somebody who was going to get graduated after this year through this pandemic situation, would you opt for a job, a safer job option, or would you like to go on for a startup and become someone like an entrepreneur for a new business idea surrounding the food industry? What would be a safer option in today's times?
Difficult question for me to answer, because this is totally a hypothetical situation. Until and unless I'm really in that situation, I won't be able to give a right answer to it. But uh, during this COVID time, food industry is the least impacted industry. Okay, these two
Okay.
questions are very wide. Actually, there is no relation between these 3 points: COVID, entrepreneurship, and job. If you are looking for job and if you are also thinking for entrepreneurship, these are two different direction. And bringing a third angle of COVID, I don't think why it is there. If you are looking, if you are an entrepreneur, want to be an entrepreneur, irrespective of the situation, you should go for entrepreneurship, because I don't think COVID has much impacted the food industry. In fact, it has increased the opportunities also for the newcomers. Like there are lots of demand for healthy foods. There are lots of demand for home cooked food. So see, here you have to identify that what COVID has created, what opportunities COVID has created, and how you can tap those opportunities to make yourself as a successful entrepreneur. So there is no relation between these two. You have to be very very clear whether you want to be an entrepreneur or want to go for a job. Whether
Right.
wherever you go, give your best, you will be successful.
Right, sir. So it is not relevant. COVID situation has not affected the food industry on a
It
larger
is
scale.
on the larger scale, exactly.
Yes, totally. So, sir, also there are some institutes who offer a intermediate course of master's and a bachelorate degree in food tech. So, would you suggest to opt for an integrated course like this, or would you suggest we go separately towards these two courses, the bachelorate and the master's?
Okay. Again, there won't be a straightforward answer to this. Sorry. Uh, I can't say right now, because again, I always say you should be only confused when you have more than one option in your hand, right? So you should not be confused with an hypothetical situation. That what are the other options you have at that time? Looking into all the options, you should take a decision. Now, again, let me make a hypothetical situation for an hypothetical question. Now, if you have a college providing you an integrated course, and that college is of a good brand, go for it. If a college is providing you, and if you have other option also where BTech is there, you're getting a graduation degree from not so branded college, then you can go for it, because after that you can apply for a post graduation in a reputed institute. So these all situations that at that moment when you are getting that options, what all other options you have to look everything together before taking a decision. So again, in short, there is no harm in going for integrated course based on the other situations you have.
Right, sir. Right, sir. So, sir, moving ahead, the next question is: as a fresher, how would an R&D person get into a job, or how would he increase his or her experience in this field?
Okay, to get into an R&D, you can even get in after some time also, after 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years of your experience. As a fresher, my only suggestion to everyone would be, don't be choosy in your first job. Get whatever you have, get whatever you have in your hand. Just go for it. Just get an experience, because till now, though it is a meme floating right now, nowadays, but this is the question being asked and being unanswered for last many decades. Everyone looking for experienced people, but who will give the experience, right? And no answer. I don't have even the answer for that. The only answer to that is get whatever job you have, just take it. Whatever job you are getting, just take it, because sitting at home will not add to any of the experience in your CV. Even if that job is providing you lesser salary, it is in a very remote area, life is totally ruined, just get it, because at least that will add to the experience which other companies are looking for. Okay, now coming to the answering to your first question, that to get into R&D, which kind of experience you need an experience. Now I started my career with operations in manufacturing or in production. Then I moved to R&D. I have many colleagues who have started their career in production, who had started their career in quality, but they are into R&D now. So during that process of experience, during the process of being in production, being in quality, you have to develop a right knowledge, right skill set, right aptitude, which helps you to qualify or face any interview related to the R&D. Now, question may be asked, what is that right aptitude? What is that right skill set? The right aptitude and right skill set is knowing your product very well. If you are into a manufacturing of biscuits, you should not only know about the manufacturing part of the biscuits, you should also know about the science of the biscuit. So that tomorrow, even in that company comes and they advertise that there is a vacancy in their R&D department, when you apply to it, when you face the interview, you should be able to answer very confidently, especially when you are working in a factory, right? And you are in manufacturing or you are in quality. One thing is there, uh, this department is not totally cut off from R&D, because R&D people, they have to come for their trials in the factory. So you get lots of chance to interact with those colleagues from R&D. Start interacting with them with that aptitude, with that attitude, so that when there is a vacancy in their department and when you apply for that role, that person will think, yes, this guy is very good, this guy has very fundamental knowledge of the biscuits, that guy does not only knows about the operation part but also the science part, that guy has helped me in solving the fundamental issues during my trial. So that is the moment where, without giving an interview, you are setting you are leaving behind your impression and making yourself eligible for the R&D work. Okay, so there is no, it's not true that to be in R&D you have to start from R&D only. If you start from R&D, it's well and good, but personally I feel that a person who wants to really be good in R&D, he should have experience of industry or factory, because then only that person can imagine or can create a recipe which will be operationally feasible, yeah, which can be easily scaled up. So these are my points. That again, to summarize it in short, there is not a right time to start your career in R&D. Wherever you are, apart from the work which you are doing in your day-to-day work, try to get into the depth of the science of that product. Try to be in contact with the R&D person of that company. Support them, participate with them during their trials, show your knowledge, show your knowledge, don't hesitate in showing your knowledge, don't hesitate in helping them, try to interact with them, try to increase your network with them, so that whenever there is a right opportunity, you will be first in their list.
Right, sir. Completely agreed. So, sir, moving ahead, which place that has the maximum chances of opportunities in food technology? Is it India or some place abroad? And if it is in abroad, which country would you say is having the most opportunities in this sector right now?
Every country has processed food industry, and every country have the equal competition for you, right? If you think that in India has many food technologists, then USA will also have many food technologists. So there, every country has the opportunity, every country has the uh, competition also. Don't get confused with all these questions right now, friends. If you are students, just only one mantra: wherever you get job, just go for it. It's not that if I say that in France or in Australia there are lots of opportunity, you will go directly there and start searching job there, right? Anyhow, you will be sitting in India and searching for job across the world, right? So
Right.
don't get into this kind of confusing questions. Yeah, everywhere has the opportunity and everywhere has the competition. Okay, you cannot run away with from the competition from India.
Right, sir. So, sir, what experience should one have to become a consultant in food industry?
So there are different kind of consultants, right? There are some consultants who are into quality field, who are into certification and audits. So for them, they have to get experience in that field. There are some consultants who are providing the basic R&D work, yeah, or I can say recipe development or process development. Then you should have experience in that field. Some consultants helps in building the big industry or setting up end-to-end industry. So you should have relevant experience in that field. So wherever some consultants are into regulatory, they provide the regulatory support to the food industry. So you should have the experience in that field. Now, how to get those experiences? If you have particular interest in that field, just try to get associated with yourself, associate with yourself with those consultants. There are many consultants in certification who hire people for 6 months, 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe at the lower salary. And if you want to get your experience in that field, go there. For certification kind of thing, you have to also get your get some learnings and certificates in particular field like OSAS, like FSSC, like FMS. So you have to get those certificates also.
Right, sir. Thank you for this guidance. So, next one is, are there any jobs in NASA or ISRO for the food technologists, and how to apply for them?
How to apply for them? Just look for their website if they have any vacancy. And
Okay.
is there any role? I guess there is. I have not met any single person right now who are in NASA or in ISRO, but I'm sure uh, they work they do lots of research in the field of space food. Whether
Right.
food technologists are being hired or a microbiologist are being hired or biochemists are hired or pure nutritionists are hired or pure chemists are hired, that is a different thing, but they do lots of work in space science, sorry, space food.
Right, sir. So, there is an opportunity in that field too.
There is an opportunity, yes.
Okay,
One
sir.
thing again I like to say, yeah, people should be aware of about their competitors, right? One thing, keep in your mind, friends, that food industry or any research in food technology doesn't mean that you should be a food technologist only. So your competitions are very high. I can give example of Center Food Technological Research Institute, which is CFTRI Mysore. If you think there are, this is an institute mainly for food research, right? Research in food. They have about 300 plus scientists. But friends, they are, I don't think more than 10 or 12 food technologists there. At max, if I go even, there are 50, at max 50. I don't think even 50. I'm just exaggerating it. But there are not more than 10 to 15 food technologists. It is because food science is an interdisciplinary science. right? It has microbiology, it has fermentation, it has biochemistry, it has engineering. So in CFTRI, in food research, people are from microbiology background, biotechnology background, engineering, biochemistry, chemistry, crop science, cereal science, agriculture, horticulture. So people are from diversified background. So why I'm saying this, even if there is some work in NASA or in ISRO, doesn't mean that all the vacancies are open only for food technologists. No, because as a food technologist, we learn about applications, we learn about different things. But if they need a particular fundamental research in a particular topic, they would rather go for a specialized person in that field. Uh, yeah.
Okay, right, sir. So moving ahead, while appearing for gate examination, which section would we prefer, the XE section or the XL?
Again, what is your expertise? See, XC and Excel both are totally two different poles. One is totally engineering based, mathematics engineering, thermodynamics, and all those things. Other is totally bioscience based. So, where is your area of interest? Where you feel that in short time you can learn faster? Whether you can learn compulsory chemistry faster, or you can learn compulsory engineering mathematics faster, whether you will grasp faster microbiology and biochemistry for Excel, or you can grasp thermodynamics or fluid dynamics for XC. It is totally your area of interest. And also just go and look into the prospectus. If your target college is looking for any particular branch, if you are targeting XYZ college, and if they want only person from Excel, then you have to go for Excel. If they want looking only for XC people, then you should go for XC.
Right, sir. So, based on your opportunities and also the area of expertise that you would like to
Yes, how
exhibit.
fast you can learn. If you ask me, uh, if today I have to give exam of gate, though everything I have studied 20 years back, but I will go for Excel. Reason being, uh, mathematics I have never studied. So chemistry somewhere I've studied in my 12th, so I can build on that. uh, Geology I have studied biochemistry, I have studied microbiology. So though in that depth I have not studied, but I can build on that. If I have to spend 1 year of my time, I can build on that. But I will not go for XC where all the subjects are totally alien to me.
Right, sir. So, sir, moving ahead, what should we be looking for in the paid online courses that are now in a boom because of everything getting online? So, what should we use as a criteria to discriminate between the courses and take up only the good ones?
See, good one and bad one depends on how much you learn. Don't go uh, by a mindset that more certificates and courses you add to your CV, your CV becomes heavier. Yes, it becomes so heavy that sometime you will be crushed under that heaviness. Why I'm saying that? Because I have recently also I have interviewed few students from different colleges. Uh, and during this lockdown, lots of webinar happened, and literally one page was filled with different courses. See, more the topics you give in the CV, more trapped you will be. Because when you have written something there, as an interviewer, I will look for the answers for that questions. I may look for the in-depth answer for the topics. Just don't go only for getting certificates. Choose the certificates or courses which are relevant to you, which are relevant to your uh, expertise. Don't add those names in the CV if you have forgotten about it. Don't add those things if you don't know anything about it. Just for the sake of writing there. Okay, don't do that. So there is no answer, because that depends what is your area of interest. If you want to make your career in uh, quality, then you can go for some courses in certification. If you want to make your career or your area of interest in the latest technology, you can go for artificial intelligence, blockchain technology. But during interview, or either be very much upfront saying that I have learned only fundamental things so that I understand about these topics. That's all. I have not gone into the depth of it. Be upfront, be honest. Otherwise, you will be trapped, literally trapped. Yeah.
Right, sir. So we should brush up our basics and keep it simple for the interview.
Yes. As a students, I will say that when you are a graduate student, as a recruiter, I don't expect you to learn everything. Yeah. We only expect that whatever you have learned in your college, you should be very good in the fundamentals of it. There is no
Right.
point of talking about FSSC, talking about blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, when you are not able to answer the question of what is water activity and how it impacts the microbial growth, how it impacts the shelf life of the product. When you are not able to answer the fundamental question, what is quality, and you are talking about that you have done courses in FSSC and the quality management system. So you should be very, very careful about it. Okay.
Right,
And if you
sir.
can
A
learn
very
everything, and if you
nice.
can learn everything, go for everything. If you can afford, if you can learn, there are many students who are very sharp. If you want to learn, go for everything. There is no right knowledge and wrong knowledge. Go for everything. If you can afford, again, don't unnecessarily put your parents under burden for these courses. Your courses are sufficient. But if you want to learn, if you are hungry for knowledge, go for anything, even filmmaking, even Photoshop, anything.
Right, sir. So depends on person to person.
Yes, I think most of the students may be very much disappointed with my answers because I have not given a single straightforward answer. But friends, I am not here to uh, make a rosy picture of the actual world. This is the actual world where you won't get a straightforward world that now I'm standing in a junction. I have to decide only to go left or right. This is not the case. You at every time you stand at the center of a circle, you can go to any direction based on the different scenarios. Yeah.
Right, sir. So moving ahead, sir, what would you like to comment upon the opportunities in the government sector for the food technologist community?
So one of the best opportunities in the academics, become a professor, lecturer and professor. Another opportunity is become a scientist in BARC, in CFTRI, in DFRL, in BIS. Other opportunities become food safety officer in local FDA. I think there are some jobs in Food Corporation of India also. So there are very handful of opportunities for a food technologist in a government job, but all are diversified. There is no regular recruitment of those jobs. You have to keep your network very strong to learn, to be aware about any upcoming exams or upcoming vacancies.
Right, sir. So, sir, moving ahead, for small scale startups in the food industry, what path would you show them? Like, what certifications do they need to have to ensure that their business is running safely and within
Very,
the
very, very wide topic.
standards?
Very wide topic. I won't be able to answer right now. This is a very wide topic. There are lots of things for a startup to begin to get certified at the level of production you are doing, from small scale to medium scale, micro scale, small scale, medium scale. There are lots of classifications for everything. There are lots of uh, checklists, and I'm not the right person to answer that.
Okay, sir, right. So, moving ahead, sir, there's a question that asks, are there any courses in the flavors and perfumery sector on
Yes.
non-ICT only?
Apart from ICT,
Yes,
I don't know.
apart from ICT.
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, so maybe in the ICT, other.
So there is I know about ICT only. They have MTech in flavor and fragrance technology.
So yes, sir. What would you like to comment on that?
That is good. You should go for it. If you are getting, you should go for it. Really good.
Right.
Really good. Again, I will go back to my first answer, where I was talking about being a specialized and opportunity versus probability. But this is the field where opportunities are also good, and if you have a right knowledge, right set of temperament, your probability of success will be very high.
Right, sir. So, lastly, what piece of advice would you like to give to the overall food community, whatever, whoever is watching you right now, and overall overview of whatever you feel is important that
So
we
this
know?
is my 20 years. This is my 20 years. Since I kept my first step in the world of food industry or food technology. I mean, not industry, food technology. 2001, I uh, joined for my BTech in food science. Since then, it has been a very good journey. Very good journey. Uh, as a food technologist, I will say that the thing what we carry is pride and a smile. Whenever you, and when once you go into a food industry, once you start a job as a food professional, when you meet your friends and relatives, they and you say that you work with XYZ company. Suppose you work with Coca-Cola, you work with Heinz, you work with Nestle or Cadbury, Britannia, anything. When you say that, you'll find a smile in their face. You'll find a smile there in their face. So you are spreading that smile. So be proud of being a food technologist. You will be surprised to know that, surprised to hear that I'm not talking about that big thing that we preserve food and we help in elevating the hunger and all those things. That is true. That is true. But I'm not directly involved into that as a food technologist. But as a food technologist, I'm spreading smile. I'm spreading. I'm spreading smile among the consumers. You should be proud of it. Whenever consumer eat your product, whether it is biscuit, bread, uh, chocolates, or anything else, or juice or drink, you elevate their mood. You bring a smile. You bring a satisfaction in their life. Be proud of it. Being a food technologist, be proud of it. Second piece of advice as a student, as which I already said, that never be choosy about your first job. Never be choosy about your first job. First get your job. Whatever, wherever you are getting, add experience to your CV. Then explore the world as per your choice. And last and third advice: don't unnecessarily don't confuse yourself with an hypothetical situation. Remember, in your life, you should only get confused when you have more than two options. More than one option, sorry. If you have more than one option, then only you should get confused. Okay? Don't create any hypothetical situation and just sit in your room that what will be my future? What will happen if I get this? What will happen if I get that? And if you come to a situation you have more than one option in your hand, go and discuss with your parents, with your seniors, with your professors. What should I do? That is the right point to get their advice, because that is the point where they will be able to give you an objective decision, not a subjective decision, where all the decisions in the direction will be hypothetical only. Okay.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We were booming with so many questions, and I think you have done justice to all of them. Thank you very much for your time and energy.
Thanks, Simran, and thanks Foodyaari and other sponsors for this. Foodies is my classmate. Sumedha is
Okay.
my classmate. Uh, Nice to see her brand here. So thanks everyone. It was really interesting discussing with you. And friends, all these questions are very common, and you should not be shying with these questions, because these are the very fundamental questions or dilemma every student have, whether they are a student now, or whether they were a student 20 years back like me, or they were a student 40 years back. All these questions were always there in the mind. But good thing is that nowadays, because of this internet and IT boom, we are able to interact with different people. So keep your curiosity high, keep your doubts always in front of your seniors or in anywhere wherever you get the opportunity. Don't shy away from asking questions. Okay, thanks everyone. It was really my pleasure to discuss with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Also, lastly, I would like to make an announcement. The winners of the article writing in the Food Festo Mania Festival, the third prize goes to Udisha Segupta. The second prize goes to Sanika Milind Abhyankar, and the first prize goes to Rosie Bihari. Also, all the other participants will receive their certifications by the 10th of March. Also, I would like to take up the part from Foodyaari and like to thank all the attendees and all the participants for a very interactive session today. I hope we have given you all the answers that you needed. With this, I'll end the live session. Thank you so much. Until next time, then. Goodbye.